get my deco. Well, I want to thank you so much for joining me tonight, ladies and gentlemen, on Talking Sip. Well, one of the first things that I'm doing on Talking Sip tonight is to let me just make sure that my volume level is okay. Let me just check this volume level. 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. There. 1 2 1 2. Let me see something here. Got it there. 1 2 1 2. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Got that in charge. I'm having a sip actually today, and this is a sip of my Jamaica cup here, which is my Blue Mountain coffee. Put some coffee, which is good. And I tend to always like to have water. Water, the food of life, we call it sparkling water. That's one of the most important things. Sparkling water. And here we go. You can hear the sound. And at some point later, chances are we'll have a glass of wine. Yeah. Well, it's a good week so far. Good week for some, bad week for others. This is the start. We're still going through this whole period regarding the war. Yeah, still having this war which is going on between two countries which are at loggerheads with each other. Two countries which are loggerheads with each other. One is a bully, and one is very adamant. One can say that very stubborn. But can you say stubborn or really very passionate? Passionate about his country, passionate about the things that he wants, which is Zelensky. And when we talk about passion, when we talk about things like persons wanting to run their lives, wanting to make sure that their lives are intact. Hi. How are you, Michelle? Yeah. Can you blame him? But one of the things that I keep saying though, and I keep saying this all the while, is I heard Zelensky said something, and he said that the only way Russia is going to get Kiev is when it is raised. The only way it is when it is raised. When I heard raised, I said to myself, well, I don't think he really cares that much about his people if he wanted to be raised to the ground. Michelle said, which one is the bully? Well, the perception is that Putin is the bully. That's the perception, that he's a bully. Whether or not he is, that is something else. But that's the perception that he's a bully. And that's what many people consider, that he's a bully, and what his name is innocent. But I've been posting some very interesting articles and posting some very interesting discourse and some discussion, challenging the narrative, because we will not see certain narratives where we are at and in our space. Because if you look on the mainstream media, it is just like when you had COVID. Everything was one-sided. Anybody say anything against the general ethos or the general narrative, you're deemed to be anti, you're deemed to be something out of this world, or deemed to be, it is like they wanted the zombification. And that's one of the reasons why I couldn't stay on Instagram. Because staying on Instagram, you got to play safe. But as you can realize now, you cannot afford to stay safe in this world. You cannot afford to stay safe. You cannot afford, because at the end of the day, someone will come and bomb you out of this world. you know, take you out while you're trying to stay safe. So sometimes we got to call a spade, you know. So I'm just here as a conduit, of the cause, a conduit of what things are. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for coming, for joining. Um, Let me just do something. I just need to do something. Light was almost blinding me to a certain extent. Yeah. See if I can get some. I think that's better. You have played it safe in here as well. Well, I don't know if I've been playing it safe. I just think I'm being prudent. I don't believe in jumping on bandwagons and just going all over the world. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I think unless I have information which I can prove, or information which is prudent, or information which I think is that I think there's a difference between I think, then you can't just go around, because there's so many things, there's so many voices around, so many people saying different things. Tom, Dick, and Harry, everybody has their agenda. So you can't just jump on every bandwagon just because it is prudent or it seems to be prudent. So yes, I do play it safe because you cannot be a maverick. You know, you gotta be a maverick. So you somewhat have to play it safe in a certain way. I think we all play safe because I mean, even Putin is playing it safe, right? Maneuvering, getting in there, going left, right, circling. Don't want to bomb there. People say, why is he doing that? Is he why? Why? What's happening? Playing it safe. We all played safe, right? So tonight's topic is cost of living soars, but how will you soar? Cost of living soar, but how will you soar? And the whole essence of it is with what is happening now and what is happening around the world. And I saw the petrol, my petrol station up there. Petrol has gone up, diesel has gone up, everything has gone up. And of course, if those things have gone up, then we know without a doubt many other things are gonna go up. Yeah, many other things are gonna go up, and we've been impacted big time. So the big question is, how do you withstand this time? How do you soar while cost of living soars? How do you stay afloat at this time? How do you maneuver? Is it that you go to your boss and say, listen, I need a pay rise? Is it that you start to look at how I can create other sources of income? How can I, you know, do something new? I think we have spoken about this at different times. The whole impact of COVID, because COVID has actually taught us something at the period of that time, that hey, you've got to actually do something different. You cannot wait, right? You cannot wait for something to happen, for something to shatter your world, and then you start to make some inroads. So you got to think. You got to think about how. And that is something that I want to have a discussion with tonight. I should have a guest coming in from Netherlands, even though I've got my main man Lester will come from Netherlands as well. Um, I think Mr. Corey might be coming on to talk about there is this new thing whereby Jamaica moves, which is a thing that Christopher developed, whereby people can exercise. And I believe for the 60th year of Jamaica, which is this year, the 60th year, they're going to be doing different things. So I'll be doing some sort of collaboration with them as well regarding this whole thing. Uh, Another thing which came up, ladies and gentlemen, if you remember when we were talking a lot about COVID and talking about all the different sicknesses and the kickback effect and the deaths and the people suffer as a result of taking the vax. Apparently, and I seen this going around, but I'm not delving into it properly. But one thing what they have said is that somebody just sent it to me a while ago and just reminded me to mention it, that you could get a payment if you're severely disabled and your disability was caused by vaccination against any of the following disease. And COVID-19 was at or is at the top of the agenda there. Hemophilus influenza, all of these things. So yeah, you can get some sort of, what should I say, compensation. I wonder if that's what happened in Jamaica. People get compensation in Jamaica for for COVID. So yeah, so ladies and gentlemen, for those on Instagram, in order to watch the show live, you're going to come on to YouTube, Silburn TV. If you want to come on to be a guest, I'm going to actually post the link right here, and you can join in as well. And let me have a. And when you come in, you just tell me what you're actually drinking, if anything. I'm drinking some red wine, which I tend to do. They said a little wine is good for you. That's what the doctors actually say now. Every year they keep changing it. So cheers. Cheers, Lady Denise, media. Cheers over there on Instagram, those on YouTube and Facebook. And of course, I balance everything out with having my glass of water. Another thing which I saw in Jamaica as well is that they're changing up the money. And if you look, there it is. That's very interesting, isn't it? $50 gonna be with Paul Bogle and Sam Sharp. $100 bill with Marcus Garvey. $500 bill. Sorry, did I say Sam Sharp earlier? That was Paul Bogle. Well, that's as if it is Paul Bogle. And George William Gordon. Sam Sharp and Nanny on a $500 bill. $1,000 bill, Michael Norman Manley and Bustamante. $2,000 bill, you're gonna have Siaga and Michael Manley. $5,000 bill, you're gonna have Sangster and Shearer. Yeah, so that's something there, which is some new development on there. Let's see if I can take this off. After dark, you have to play it safe here as well. Start your own business, save up, sell stuff that people really need. After dark, yeah, and talking about what people can do. That's a good point. You know that a lot of people have things in their garage as well. Lots of things in their garage. And the things in their garage, I'm sure that they could actually sell a lot of the things which is in their garage as well. Tons of things in garage. You can do a garden sale as well. That is something that people can do. Whatever ideas that people have that people can do in order to get and the other thing also which I've been watching and seeing in the news as well is, and this one is going to be very interesting. Michael Gove, who is the Community Secretary, I forget what his post is in the UK. Let me turn this down a bit here. Michael Gove has said that the UK is going to be starting to bring in, or is going to be encouraging Brits to open up their houses for Ukrainian. The UK has been criticized very much in regards to this whole, refugee crisis, whereby they are not bringing much people in. France has criticized the UK. Many countries have criticized the UK. So Michael Gove, who is the Community Secretary or so, I forget what his title is, he's going to actually make a statement. And what they said is that in Poland, and this is a very interesting bit, in Poland, a lot of men or there's this whole thing about trafficking, sex trafficking. And I believe that there's a potential for this to go really big. And I tell you why. They said because only women and children and elderly persons can actually leave Ukraine at this time. Young men have to stay. Young men have to stay. So as a result of this, what we're having is young people, women, and children who are refugees. If they come to the UK, what a bishop was talking about today, if they come to the UK, what is going to happen? You're going to have going into houses without, unless they're properly vetted and properly checked. And as one who works in the childcare field, legal field, you're going to have a situation whereby you got to be careful as to who these people are. Not who these people are, not who the Ukrainians are, but whose homes they're going into. These persons could be pedophiles, these persons could be abusers and rapists and all those sort of things. So there's going to be a massive vetting. 2.5 million people, I understand, has left the Ukraine. 2.5 million people. And the big question is, and this is going to be a major refugee crisis. Do you think those persons are going to go back home if Putin takes over Ukraine? And they're talking about for 6 months. But do you think those persons will go back to Ukraine? Many people say no, you got to push it a bit longer. Highly likely that they're going to go back to Ukraine. And that is something, a food for thought as well. Because while we duly have to somewhat be very helpful, we also got to be mindful at the same time. What is in this crisis? I personally think that Zelensky needs to step down. Or when I say step down, I mean to say I believe that Zelensky needs to surrender, put up his white flag, for the sake of peace, for the sake of his people, for the sake of the countrymen. But when I hear a leader sometimes say it's got to be razed to the ground, he has got to be razed to the ground, totally razed to the ground, in order for Putin to actually take control. That shows me that you don't really care about your people. You don't really care about your countrymen. It is like this egoistic thing. Not just me, because I'm a pacifist right now. I don't know if pacifist is the right word. I'm all for peace. There's so much hypocrisy which is out there. I mean, so much hypocrisy out there and things like that. And this thing can't just keep going on forever because the whole world is being impacted. The whole world is actually being, impacted in a very powerful way. The high level of, cost of living going up to a high level. And as a result, because of the cost of living, everything is going to go up. People are just coming out of COVID, getting back to some level of normality. And as they get back into this level of normality, waboom, there we go. So that's really bad. And another thing which I saw in regards to Jamaica as well, in fact, I'm jumping between Jamaica. I don't even want to touch on the United States of America because right now, United States of America is actually letting me down. I'm having heart palpitation because of America. Kamala Harris was in Poland doing some cackling, not very serious, asking the Polish person that if they can actually be the one that can actually explain American policies. America is like a weak ship at this time. Very weak. Totally weak. Very weak. Totally weak. I can keep going. Very weak and totally weak. The United States of America has always been on the front line. Front line whether it's bad or front line whether it is good. And right now at this time, that leadership that should be coming forth to pull the stakeholders together and say, come to this table and let us talk. That is totally missing. Totally missing. And I'm not going to have a drink to Biden. I'm going to have a drink to the people of America that they need to start to maybe call an election early, recall Biden or so. Shame, 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 shame. It's a shame. But we'll talk about that later. But in tapping into Jamaica, there's this thing about the firearms where a former minister of government, well, he's a minister of government, but a former minister of national security, Robert Montague, actually stepped down. He stepped down because it was found, or allegations, or something is going through the process that he actually, signed off guns to persons with criminal links or some criminal history or something of that nature that he had to step down. He was a minister of national security, ladies and gentlemen. Minister of National Security. Also, Peter Bunting, it is alleged. Also, Dennis Meadows, also different persons. So it's like a high level of corruption. You know, that's what it is like. I use the word alleged. I use the word alleged because until it's proven, no, the one in the body come and sue me. you know, because at the rate of how things are going, I may have to speak to Mr. Richard Curry and say, Richard Curry, in Jamaica, you may need to start to get some lands together because the diaspora may have to come home very soon based on how things are actually unfolding around the world. We have to come and get our houses there because all the houses are being bought up in the Caribbean. Ocherius, Vita, Ferguson, she buy up all of the houses and down Ochi and stuff like that. So you can't buy no more properties as well. So that is something which is, what are you going to do? What if there's a big bang? What if there is this full scale thing going on? What are you going to do? What are you going to say? Where's the place to be? UK will be targeted, NATO. America will be targeted, NATO. Where are you going to go? Will Jamaica be targeted? I saw the list. There's a list of countries which, link not working. Link is not working. Which link is not working? The link worked for me earlier. Let me see. Link is not working. Link is working. Link is working. Let me see what link. Somebody said the link is not working to get into the show. Let me just do it. I'll do a test myself. I can. Sorry, guys. Let me just see something here. Link is not working. We'll try something here. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, I'm just doing a test here on this link here. Somebody said the link is not working. Persons to come in. Yep. Link is working perfectly. I just came in a while ago. Yep. My son just tested me a while ago. Yep. Thank you. Vita, I don't know what to say to you, but the link works perfectly. I'll send it to you again. That's that's the link there. Works. Jody Murray's in. So the link worked perfectly, right, Jody? You got it, yeah?
Yeah, the one that you sent us in the message, but not the one that you posted.
The one I sent in the message.
Right, that one works well.
So you can actually use your hands and slapped me. I was a bad boy, you know. So the one that I sent in the message was wrong.
No, it's correct.
It's correct. What about the one that I posted here? Let's see what Vita is
No,
saying.
the one that you posted here, it doesn't work.
Is that also
But
correct,
the one,
Vita? She laughing after me. So what you people laugh after? What you people otherwise?
Well, I tried, and at first I was thinking, you know what? But sometimes I have smartphone. Even though the phone is smart, you need smart people to use it. So I was just thinking it was me, but I realized it's not.
So therefore, there's a saying when we first started to learn about computer, they always say GIGO, garbage in, garbage out. So that
So you put garbage there, and I was trying to take it out, but it's not working.
So I'm happy. I can always accept full responsibility, So it was me. I'll change it in the meantime. Anyway, ladies, how are you doing?
good
Doing
evening,
great.
Soar.
Yeah, how
Joe,
are you?
see you as beautiful as ever. That's beautiful sunshine in Jamaica, and your skin make you so beautiful.
Oh, thank you, girl. You are looking wonderful as well. I like that top on you. The color fits you.
Why, thank you so much, darling.
You have
Thank you.
matching earrings. What's going on today? You going on a date?
Go on. You can model. Go on. Spin around.
I'm hoping maybe after this I might have a date.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Cheers, darling. What are you drinking?
Today I'm drinking water, guys.
Oh.
You frozen? Who's frozen? We frozen? What are you drinking? What do you say you're drinking?
I'm drinking water today.
Yeah. Vita, is it like Jodie is frozen or is it me?
She was frozen then, but she's okay now.
I'm having water. You are frozen.
She said she's having water. Can you hear her?
Well, I'm having water as well.
Well, I'm under my waters, but I'm having crown and ginger.
You're under your waters.
But I'm having crown and ginger. So cheers. It's nice to see you. Silver and beautiful.
Beautiful. Listen, men beautiful. You said silver and beautiful. Beautiful.
I was gonna say that, but I realized that. But Silver, even if I say you're beautiful, oh, I see you. What a beautiful or handsome. Nobody can tell me my perspective. Oh, I see you.
Yes. Original watcher style. You have to say it as it is.
Watcher style.
Anyway, guys,
something earlier. You said something earlier, and I do not agree with you.
What's that?
As an American, I don't respect the way that you are talking about America in the sense of what you're saying as far as, Silver, you have the United Kingdom also. Why is the United Kingdom not going in and helping the Ukraine? Why everybody's looking to America to save the world? That's a
Jodie,
question.
answer that, Jodie, and then I'll come in.
Honestly, I'm not going to get involved in this politics. I am in Jamaica. And just like I think Jamaica does not belong in certain people's business, I am going to drink water and mind my own business because I'm over here in Jamaica that has no warheads nor anything like that to defend us. So UK and USA can have this debate. I am not getting involved.
But I tell you why it's our business. As I said the other day, you might drink water and mind your own business, but really and truly, when you drive, what's a pump saying? Your gas pump, your petrol pump, has it changed or is it the same?
It is changing, and it is going to change for everyone. And every
Why?
day it's a
Why is that? Why is it changing?
It's the same crisis everybody in the world is facing. I mean,
Why?
I'm not going to say, when I say it's not my business, talking about the political part of it about getting involved, Silborn. It's just like, do you remember when COVID just started, right? And it never reached us quite yet. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember COVID. Yeah, that geezer there.
You remember how distant we were from it until it got to our country?
Mm.
This is no different.
Yeah, yeah. Vita, one of the reasons why I sort of lambast America at this time is because when I think of the Northern Ireland Peace Treaty, you have Bill Clinton right there in the middle of it. You understand? Bringing things together. When I thought of Yasser Arafat and I think it was Perez or Sharon or whatever
Mhm.
negotiating what is happening down there, you saw America right there in the middle. Americans are always right there in the middle of brokering some powerful deal. You know what I'm trying to say?
Right.
And even though America may be guilty in certain way with some double standard, but they always come out in the front line, not bombing places or whatever, not just that, but negotiating, being that sort of strong figure. It's like the Queen. The Queen, in a sense, is a ceremonial figure, and that ceremonial figure can command a level of respect. And it's unfortunate that America is at this point where they cannot come in and try to create some sort of buffer zone at this time. So therefore, the world is looking a bit very rudderless, whereby you can't see a figure. If Merkel was there, a figure that can steer the ship and say, Putin, listen, bro, you know, Zelensky, just stand down, let's work out this thing. We're watching this whole countries wrecking a country just like that, and we're all standing around and, oh, let's deal with the refugees. Do you get where I'm coming from? So that's why I said when I was speaking, I'm not just talking. I said let me say hi to the American people and leave out Kamala and Joe out of it. Over to you, Vita. I hope that clarifies my position there.
Yes, it does. It does. And again, when we look at the policy, and we look at that America can't just step in by America, because the policy and the agreement with NATO is that you have 30 something countries. And we spoke about this before, in the sense that people are saying America is doing this or America is not doing it.
Yeah.
But the fact, I hear music. Is it
Uh,
music in my head, or are you playing music? Because sometimes,
Sorry, that was my phone. I apologize, guys.
yeah.
Jody, don't mess with my mental stability. I thought that music was in my head.
Do you need me? Do you need a psych evaluation? Tell me what's going on.
No,
There are other things going on. You're hallucinating.
no, I'm taking my medication. I'm okay right here.
Okay, just checking.
I'm good. Yeah, so we were looking at that NATO, America have to also agree with NATO, and they can just move in. And yes, the sanctions going to be affecting everyone, because of the situation is that if gas affect one country, yes, it's going to affect the world, based on what we're not getting gas from.
Stillborn, can you mute me, please? Sorry, Vito.
Okay, I'm muted. Yeah, I'm muted. Yeah. Go on.
Thank you.
Keep talking,
So
Vita.
we're not getting gas from Russia anymore, and also the Venezuelans are part of, as we know, they're on the Russian side, so therefore it's hard to get gas from Venezuela. So therefore, right now, what America is doing is the surplus that we have, they are making sure that is put out there for the people, but at the same time, it's going to affect all of us. Sometimes we think that we are independent, but we're all interdependent. So yes, all that gonna affect all of us, and this is where, you know your the situation today is, how are you going to make another stream, as another income, or to actually to survive, because $40 used to fill up my truck, it took
Mm.
$100 and something now to fill it up. So it's affecting all of us. Me, I just stay home more, I go out less. If I don't have to go there, I don't. There I save gas. But also, what can you do for a stream of income? What do you love? Everybody is offering something out there. What are you offering? Whatever you love, somebody will pay for it. So whatever hobby you have, or what you do for your job, or whatever the situation, you can make money. You can make an extra income. So what are you doing?
Yeah.
Instead of looking for somebody else to give you an extra dollar, what are you doing? What can you do to make sure that this is the extra money that you're spending in gas, but you're making back on the other side over this side?
And
So, go ahead.
you know what I think that will help what we learned through COVID, which was
Yes.
working from home more to deal with the issue regarding the petrol, I think. And the world might have to look at how can they do this. Fortunately, different companies like my company, we go into the office once a week now, which is helpful. Uh, and can imagine if someone is driving in every day, but in the UK, driving in London or so is completely discouraged because you're charged to drive in London, you know what I'm saying? Just like how you're charged to watch BBC. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so therefore, there are different ways now people have to think about, okay, if I'm not getting extra income, how can I reduce my outgoings? You know what I'm trying to say? So this is how people have to think because we've got to really, it's not business as usual. And that's why I keep saying that um, we're going to be impacted directly or indirectly. And if we don't deal with this, if we're not interested in this business is going to come into our lives, like what is happening now. Um,
Yeah, that is very true, Silburn. Am I still muted?
no, you're in. I lifted you. Yeah,
Yeah, it was just, I think it was earlier this week, because the kids are back in school full time. So we've done, I think it's, or second week, no, second
yeah,
week full time, right? And the crazy thing about it is that parents who are still recovering from COVID are finding it hard to even send children back to school because they were so used to them doing online classes and so on. With petrol up now, even just transporting the kids to school and having to pay the drivers who carry the kids, because they already have systems where you have drivers who will bus the kids to school, or one taxi who takes a number of them. And I was talking to some of the drivers just Thursday and Friday, and they were saying that their transportation is overbooked to
yeah,
the point where they're going to have to say to parents, we cannot take any more kids because it is now unsafe to carry so many kids in one vehicle, because everybody is looking at how they can save money. The kids have to go back to school every single day. There's a trip in the morning, they go in the morning, they have to pick them up back in the evening. So some of the measures that we did implement in COVID are going to become very, very crucial right now. And I said to somebody that we're probably going to have to go back in Jamaica to using some coal stoves, because not everybody will be able to afford to be buying gas so often. And when I first said it, everybody was laughing, laughing, laughing. And they watched and they saw the prices go up every week. Every week it went up more. So when I said drink water and mind my own business, Silver, and I was just talking about the politics of
yeah,
it.
yeah,
I mean, we as and I'm gonna say this, ordinary citizens, not to devalue anybody, but just saying as ordinary citizens that there are some political views that we can't debate because it makes no sense, because they're not gonna listen to us. They're gonna make their decision based on what they think is in the best interest
mm,
of the country for us. So we can't make those decisions and we can't debate what they're. What we can do is put into place things that we can use to secure our families, keep us safe, and help us be able to sustain during this time. And you're very right. We're probably going to have to go back to working from home, and it may not seem as if it's the best solution for most people, but it might be the best thing we can do to our countries economically,
yes, yes,
because
yes,
we are going to suffer from it. So we are. And go back to the things of preparing our own meals rather than go shopping for all these other things that are not necessary during COVID. Still not necessary, but because we want to go back to our normal life, we start doing things the way we used to do them before, not understanding that our economic status is way worse than it was before COVID.
yeah.
So these are the things we're going to have to look at to implement.
Like a
Somebody. Sorry, go ahead, Vita.
So I was saying to Jody, that's gonna be like a boomerang effect, right? Where
Yeah.
you have the restaurant. So we all gonna start making our own. Remember back college days we brown bag it. I had to brown bag it. So and
I'm
certain.
sorry. Stillborn Michelle is saying she's not seeing any of us. It's a
Yeah,
black screen.
I'm communicating to her while we're talking on WhatsApp to see. May I just
Okay.
ask other person, because I just checked my other sites and I can realize that I'm seeing it on YouTube and I'm also seeing it on Facebook and I'm seeing it on Twitter. So, Michelle, what you may need to do is just reset it or just press refresh. It should come back up because I'm actually seeing it. It's okay now. Fantastic. Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. You're saying, Vita,
So
yeah.
it's kind of a boomerang effect. What Jody was saying, like as an individual, yes, you make your sandwiches and you take to or take your lunch to work, or if you have to go out. But at the same time, you have the restaurants who depend on the people who work out there. So it's a boomerang effect for all of us. So it affects all of us. So this is a situation where what do I do to survive? Yes, we the ordinary people again, it affects us because we don't have that extra savings or that extra um, money coming in. And that's why I would advise, it doesn't matter who you are, whatever you like, whatever you do, yes, you can start a business. Yes, if you are someplace where you don't have to register a business, um, guys can, but even girls too, you can start washing cars, female, if you braid here, start braiding here,
So when it's a washing cars, what you mean, shorts and stuff like that? It's a washing
well,
car.
and that's, yeah, and see, right there, there's a business. And I don't even have to do marketing to know that if, as Jody's so beautiful, I put Jody out there in a shots to just to wash a car. I know that instead of me charging $20 where the guy would wash it, if Jody washing your car, you have to pay me $50. That's money right there. So it's marketing and how
Trust
do
me,
you.
it works. It works.
Yes, it does. Because we just saw that. What would Silburn like if we were washing car to see us in shorts? Well, not me, Jody, but you maybe. But, but
I'm sure guys would be lining up around the box Vita to see you in a
so that's a
shorts.
business. That's a business as far as maybe it use a female to bring the guys and then have the guys in the back washing the car, whichever way. But I'm just saying, start something that if you're a teacher, you can do tutoring online, you can do classes online.
Mm.
Yeah.
So these are some stuff that we have to look at as far as COVID taught me a lot.
The only thing though, Vito, I
Yeah.
wish though that or leaders of our countries would see this aspect of it because right what Sleepy Joe
So
somebody
Michelle,
oh
so
sorry Michelle, yeah,
Joe Biden
so
saying everyone back in the office because the boomerang effect of you guys, we staying home, then there is a restaurant, there is the people out
Yes.
there dependent,
yeah.
us driving, all that. So he's saying that for for the stability of the economy, then therefore we need to go back out to work. But then a financial aspect, it's cheaper for me to stay home and work from home, and my staff to work from home.
Yeah, but it saved the countries a lot of money too, Vita, because I'm looking at even the educational system, right? I know that some parents were saying, "Oh, it was not working for my child," while you had another set of parents saying, "Yes, it was working." And it's. I think honestly, we did not give it a fair chance because anything that we put out there, it takes a while for us to see the cause and the effects, and then how to adjust it. It was just for 2 years. It's not long enough to see the cause and effects effectively. So I
Right.
think probably what we need to do is an integrative system, or go back to part-time school, part-time home, part-time, traveling to work. Like Silburn says, he only goes into his office once a week. Maybe companies need to put these things in place, where this happens. And I understand about the other persons, we're not locking down. We're just saying for economic sense, let us
Yeah.
not just, let everybody be commuting every single day because we're literally going to go into a slum. Literally. People are making gas
I
jokes
agree.
every single day, and the gas jokes are not helping. It's not a
Oh, you mean
solution to the
yeah, about
problem.
yeah.
Yeah, everybody is making gas jokes every single day. I get them on my phone every day, and I'm like, this is not funny.
It's
um
not
you
funny.
know it is
Not
not
funny.
funny at all, because
But
if
I saw one study that
if it takes more money to transfer food, it means food costs are going to go up. You understand what I'm saying, Vito? If
Jody,
it takes
it's not funny, but here what happened. I saw one where we can get money because right now, they're saying female can flash, flash your boob when you get a gallon of gas, and I was just thinking you could get a gallon of gas right
No, I have very small boobs. Anyway, it's not going to work for
Just,
me.
just a good point. Just to say, for those on Instagram, we're not on Instagram. I just have my phone up there just to let people know that it's on YouTube. You have to come in on YouTube at Silver TV to actually, or on Facebook. So you're not going to be seeing anybody else. They're saying they can't see you, Jody, and they can't see Vita.
Oh, they're
On
hearing us, but they can't see us.
You can't see. So yes, it is not on Instagram,
But we
guys.
can't double take. What are you
No,
on,
you
Silborn?
can't. You can't do nothing because Instagram just shuts you down once you say certain words. Then it's a bit ridiculous. So so
But you're not live. You're live on IG.
yeah. But don't do that because it will give you a feedback. It will give you a
Okay.
feedback. I just do that on a phone so people can know that they can. It is all translating process because we were on Instagram for a while. So I tend to just keep it there for about 30, 45 minutes and then letting people know it's on YouTube, on Silver TV, so they can go
Okay.
across. Yeah. Okay. There's a lady, there's a video which is going around, which I showed you guys earlier. And it was a Russian lady saying something like, thank you to the world. It's a spoof. But there's something interesting in it. Thank you for stopping KFC, stopping McDonald's, stopping all those
Oh yes, from Russia.
stopping all those junk food from coming to our country to make us healthy. And when you think about it in a way, I think we can all agree that many people who are suffering diabetes and suffering all these things that's for years of these fast junk food. Am I correct, Jody? Especially you and Vita, you guys are in the medical field.
It's
I,
true. You are correct. I mean, the fast food is them taking away them taking away the food. Yes, the part of it is that it will make the people healthier. Yeah, but at the same time, it was bringing them income. And although McDonald's and Starbucks is pulling out, they're also still paying the people to work in Russia. How long can they continue with that? So
yeah,
yes, the healthy part of it. Yes, we need that out of the country. Jamaica need to let go of that fast food also. But the fact is that it's bringing in an income. The revenue part of it is going to hurt the Russian people who, at some point, Starbucks or McDonald's, they're going to stop paying them. They're paying them now because they're saying it's not their fault that the war is on. But at some point, they're going to stop paying. So what happened to that income? So there is a double-edged sword.
and I think there was one company. I think it was. I don't know if it's Starbucks or one of them say it's going to cost them 50 million per month while this is happening for the whole
Silver,
business.
Silver, I just want to welcome my friend Chad. I've been inviting him over a year, and finally he just said hi. So welcome, and he's from Ochi. And
Ochi.
if you'd like to join us, he's an
One more
Ochi guy.
OG person. All right. Hi,
Yeah,
Is it,
Chap. Nice to meet you.
is it
he's from.
One
Champs?
more OG invasion.
No, Champs is a person that I was speaking to on Instagram who was saying, so he came over. But I know a Champs. Was there a company named Champs in Ochiers? Is that the same guy?
Well, Champs, why don't you join us and let us know? Because if I didn't know you have money at that time, and if that would well be very disappointed that you did cheer.
Well, if it was the same if it's the same person and his name is Mark, there's a Champs and his father owned this. It was, you remember Little Pub?
I remember.
The shopping complex at Little Pub. There was a fashion store called Champs.
I don't know. I don't think so. But I hope you will join us. We will appreciate that.
Yes, the
But
link is
I wanna
there
say,
now.
I want to say welcome to all the Scotty who always join us. But will never
Show
come
his
and
face.
our show is face. And welcome to the audience. We
I
appreciate
think
you.
I like the mystery of Scotty. I think I
know.
like the mystery of Scotty. I really do think I like the mystery of Scotty.
So let's play some
Oh,
music.
Champ said it wasn't him. Just like a Jamaican man to say it wasn't me.
That's Scotty music. Is it mysterious sound? Here's for you, Scotty. Yes. Yeah, you were saying now. Yeah, I see. Catherine just said, will it cost them 50 million in profits or in disruption to the supply chain? That's a big question. I can't remember the exact article or so. Catherine, I'm trying to get you in from Netherlands. I don't know what is happening there. To see if you can come in. See if we can try to get you.
Maybe she know Lester. What happened to Lester?
Lester, come in. Lester will come in at some
He's
point.
riding his bicycle home, so I can't reach home yet.
He's still at the movies.
Still at the movies, still watching Batman Part 2. Yeah.
Yeah,
But-
guys. You know,
Sorry,
I'm just
Jody.
thinking seriously. I'm just thinking seriously that, you know, this is probably the approach that really needs to be taken. I'm playing it over in my head. And I'm just thinking, if we are going to make sure that we remain economically stable, especially for Jamaica, and I mean for every country, because it's going to apply to everybody, that we figure out how to do this before it gets to the point where we're going to have to do it in retrospect. You know, as a last minute resort. We don't want to wait until it gets to the point where everybody is crawling on the ground, but do it before.
Well, it seems like that's what Zelensky is doing. He's gonna wait until all the women are gone from his country and all the men are dead before he finally realizes Putin is not going anywhere. So this is where he need to say, you know what? At this point, let me surrender and save my people. At some point, you have to have common sense. I know it's not common.
Yeah.
And he was a comedy stand-up artist. This is not a joke. These people
It's not a joke. It's not a joke.
You know, I've said it to him so many times.
And he's not listening to you.
He's not listening to me, and this is why I say I think secretly world leaders are actually wishing that he would actually stand down. They really wish that, but they can't say it to him. It's like they wish that he would stand down. Because when I see all these young people who are willing to fight for their country, really gonna die, and they got these yellow bands. The yellow bands is that they're just being trained like about 3 weeks or 3 days.
Right.
War. They're civilians. So you gotta say they're not soldiers. They're civilians, even though they're gonna be soldiers. And I keep thinking to myself, this is suicidal. Sometimes you got to learn to fight, run, and fight again. The art of war.
Yeah. Again, Silburn, no pun intended. No pun intended, Silburn, but men.
Well, that is why it is so important that we have women. You know what I mean?
Yeah. At some point, we need to start taking over, because at what point do you say enough is enough? And all these men have these egos going on as far as I don't care how many people die.
Well, if we have women rule the world, there will be no wars.
There will be no war. I mean, we might have attitude that we might wonder who have bigger boobs or who don't have any. But at the end of the day, we're going to make sure that everything is okay. We're going to make sure the children are okay. We're going to make sure the men are treated how they're supposed to treat it, like the kings they are. But at the same time, we make sure there's peace.
I think these two men are lacking something, Vito.
Pardon?
I think these two men are lacking something.
Well, we know that, but the fact is, at this point, you have to start thinking as an individual. At this point, how do I survive? We have COVID, which breaks down the moral and the mental health of the world, and then now we're dealing with war. It's really frustrating to say what's next. And what can I do? What am I going to do for me and mine? For me and my family? What am I going to do? So at this point, yes, Jordy, the hybrid schooling as far as some days in, and which is what I did at the hospital with my staff, is that they only go 1 day. And for now, I'm pulling back, because the fact is that with the gas prices, and we're all with technology right now, we can work from home. And actually, I noticed that it was more productive to work from home. The productivity rate went up. The quality of care went up.
Mm.
But the fact now is, where do we go from here? Do you think as an individual? Because to think as a community, it's not the easiest thing, because you have to be uncomfortable to make sure somebody else is comfortable. Or do we work as a community? So what are you going to do? Do we get together as women and take out the clothes of our closet and have garage sale to make sure that the next door neighbor will have some money for her children? What do we do?
And even if you do that, how long does that last?
Yeah,
That's
that's
the
just
thing.
a band-aid.
It's just a band-aid. So you got to think about
That's just
the
a
long.
band-aid. That's really just a band-aid. The decisions need to come from the leaders of our countries, looking at strategic ways in which we can save our countries and save our people and save our economy. And you know, you said something interesting earlier, Vita, about removing the fast food restaurants. Um, I'm not sure if that's quite a solution, and I'm going to tell you why. And even as a healthcare personnel, that is not so much for fast food. It is a supply chain. It's just like what happened to the hotels when the hotels went here in Jamaica, where a lot of our economy was surviving on just the maintenance and the and everything of the hotels. A lot of farmers, a lot of craft vendors, a lot of persons who were tied to that chain
Yeah.
lost their income. So it wasn't just the hotels and the hotel owners, but the stream of people. I can speak of one farmer specifically who is literally in my backyard, a couple miles away from me.
Hotels and the
He
hotel
had to
owners
literally,
literally. Keep talking, Jody.
he had
I
to
need
literally,
to keep up this conversation. Yeah.
give away, sell out, change the whole model of his business because he was used to supplying truckloads of eggs to hotels, right?
Mm.
Hotels use a lot of eggs. And when COVID hit and had all these eggs, nothing to do with the eggs because there was a glut on the market
I
because there
remember
were
that
so
guy.
many
Yeah.
farmers. Yeah. And he had to either be killing the chickens, giving away the eggs, or selling them for little or nothing. And then so when you say kill the fast food trade, I would say we need to teach our people to eat healthier and have a healthier option, but I
Mm.
wouldn't say necessarily kill it because there is a supply chain. There are farmers, local farmers, that supplies all these fast food restaurants. There are, or Jamaican Burger King is actually supplied with beef from Jamaica. It's not imported. So there's a number of things that goes with the supply chain, which means that we're knocking more food out of people's mouth. What we need to
Yeah.
look at is a more strategic way of dealing with the overall problem. You're going to say to persons, continue doing your farming. Try and find more ways to build your own income. Look in your community. Look for the needs of the people in your what the people need in your community. It could be that you used to sew when you were going to school and you put it down, but it just that might be that people can't afford to go buy the clothes that I'm used to buy before, and they can buy the material and make some clothes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Look at other ways in which we can actually become a self-sufficient community, which this idea of and I'm not hitting out on any set of people specifically, but this idea of name brands and companies, big companies that have all these brands for like a large amount of money, and it becomes a culture almost. And I'm like, you are going to kill yourself to work so hard for your money and then go spend so much on a name brand when you have local Jamaican dressmakers and tailors who does just about the same job. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? And I find it ridiculous that we don't recognize that when we give all our money overseas to another company, the money does not circulate. Spend your money in your community, around your people, in your country, so the money can circulate around us in Jamaica. We can stop, sending so much money to other countries overseas and so on, and try and support our own people. That we can build a stronger economy, because it might be $10 now, but if 60 people buying it instead of 3 people buying it, then I'm sure our manufacturers here in Jamaica will find a way to cut the cost, because no more people will be buying. But if only three people buying, then of course the price is going to be higher because the production cost is going to be higher because you can only go three at a time. But if it is that we have 60 Jamaicans buying a specific brand, it is going to get cheaper. You understand? So we just need to look at the entire economic system and see how we can fix that. Because if we are providing for each other, the money will circulate around or among us. We will get rid of a lot of the problems that we have. A lot of the economic problems we have is because we don't support each other.
Vita
Because
mentioned
people are
earlier.
here trying.
Vita mentioned earlier about interdependence, that we are interdependent
Yeah.
upon each other, different countries. So no matter how much one can do things within Jamaica, Reem again, whatever happens in America, you get kicked back. I mean, what's happening in Russia and Ukraine now? They are the massive wheat producers and all those sort of things, petrol, and that is having a fundamental impact. Michelle mentioned a while ago about Venezuela. Everybody was
Mhm.
kicking out of Venezuela, and America, I understand, went to them with a begging hand. Have you heard of Vita?
Yes, and I wouldn't use the word begging because it's negotiating at the moment.
Negotiating.
So, but see, and that shows that most of the leaders, they don't look at um the bigger picture. And again, one thing we have mentioned before, and my friend O'Neill is all, I wish he would have joined,
Yes,
because what I respect with O'Neill is that he always talk about critical thinking.
yes,
And the leaders now do not have critical thinking because there's a saying in Jamaica, and I don't know if it's all over the world, where you cut your nose off to spoil your face. Because cutting off the oil from Russia, we don't have oil, and Russia is friend with Venezuela, so it's cutting off from the world, right?
yes.
So this is the bigger picture that, okay, if I do this, then this will happen. It's cause and effect. But they don't have that critical thinking to see the bigger picture or to see the whole picture. They don't. They just do what now and what is. And I don't understand the leaders. Or don't we have smart people up there? And I was just thinking while Jody was speaking, not only is she beautiful, but she's so smart when she's looking at that. I don't know why she's not running for politics. Doesn't matter what side, but that's another story. But the fact is, these leaders don't have critical thinking because you know the cause and effect. If you cut this off, this is going to happen. You cut the oil from one area, this is going to happen. So what do you do? Now, me, as the common people, one of the common people, as they say in, you know, if what can I do? So there is a war going on. There was COVID. How do I survive? What can I do? What supply and demand is out there? What demand is out there where I can make a supply that needs? And that's what we need to start thinking now. We need to start critical thinking as far as looking at the bigger picture. What can I provide out there? You know, like Jody, you in the medical field, you probably can provide more um, mental health, whatever the case is, or physical, as far as come walk with me, come train with me, whatever the case is. What can we provide? So the art of war is that you look at the situation. It's not, it's bad, but although it's bad, what's in it for me? What can I get out of it? So that's
Well,
all we need to start looking.
yeah. Well, what Catherine just said a while ago, most of the world leaders, back to that point, are more concerned with the next election cycle rather than doing the job that they're elected to do. And I think when you look at the spheres of all the leaders around, one can say that Boris Johnson maybe is happy for this. I'm not going to say he's happy for this, but it's a distraction from the whole thing regarding the party gate. Macron might be saying, he's having an election coming up soon, so he's got to show that he's tough. Everybody's jockeying to be the next Merkel, to be that top person, that top voice there. Trudeau fought with his people recently, came to the UK and sucking up to the Queen and everything, as if to say, hey, that issue which you dealt with a while ago is gone. So everybody's is like, this is like, they sometimes say, a good time to bury bad news. Like someone said one time when they had the Iraq war or some issue in the UK one time, a good day to bury bad news. And sometimes they're looking at it as an escape from their realities. And and that is why I come back to it that with all these world leaders, listen, if everybody's actually saying Putin is a madman and demonizing him and these oligarchs I mean, the guy that owned Arsenal, they actually demonize him. All of these guys, they stop their money. What do you expect this guy to do? They're squeezing the person, and you still want him to negotiate. You see what I'm trying to say? And that is going to be one of the fundamental problems because Russia plays a fundamental role, and that's why I believe Zelensky plays a key factor right now in this whole world balancing act. Zelensky.
I
Zelensky
agree.
needs to step down.
I totally agree. I agree with you, Silver. Continue. I was just saying, I agree.
You know?
So the fact is that well, it's not up to us. But when I looked at one thing, I looked at the news, and I'm trying not to, but that's how you get, because when I look at the news, CNN, and when I saw what they're saying as far as what we are hearing from the American side, and then when I look at another international news and see that the Russian people are seeing something totally different. The Russian people are seeing that they are being attacked, and this is a way of protecting their land. So it's the news has been fed to different people in a different way.
Yeah.
So it's not like the world can come together and say, okay, let's stop the war, because you have some Russian people demonstrating they don't want no war, period. But at the time, when you listen to the news and when you interview them, they're saying, he's only protecting us. He's protecting us. So therefore, they're going to root for him and say, he's protecting us. He's protecting us. America is coming to own our backyard. So therefore, he have to protect us. When he said, I'm going into Venezuela and Cuba, because if America decides, is it me getting an echo?
Yeah, keep talking. We can hear you. Yeah.
Yeah. So when he said, okay, fine, he's putting a plane in Russia or in Cuba and one in Venezuela, because if America decide they're gonna come into, this is the reason I'm doing that, to protect. If they decide to come in our backyard, then we have to make sure we're in their backyard too. So you have to look at the fact is that what are they feeding the people? So at this point, again, as a Black woman, I always say this: these white men, they have their agenda. What are you doing for you? If you're in start a business, do something. And I'm never gonna step away from that. You have to do something for you. You have to start doing something, whatever you have to do. Meet up with someone, collaborate, and see how you can negotiate to start something with it. Get two sisters or two friends and start something.
Yeah. So therefore, ladies and gentlemen, and those on Instagram and YouTube, thank you for joining for Talking Sick this evening at 10 o'clock. And thank you for your drink, whatever you're drinking. I'm joined by Vita and Jody. The key question is, in light of what is happening, I know the world is soaring regarding this conflict, the impact with the high cost of living. How will you survive? And what's your thoughts about it? I think that one of the key things now is there's got to be some level of partnership with governments and their people as much as possible. And a new way of thinking. There was a recent budget debate in Jamaica. I don't know if Jody, you have any impact or any ideas about how it went with Julian Robinson and Nigel Clark. I don't know if you had any thoughts about it. Did you see that something other than the new money?
I took off my glasses.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to leave shortly anyway.
Yeah, that's cool.
I'm kind of a bit tired and in a bit of pain, so I've been
Okay.
sitting for a while.
We're sorry to hear that, darling.
Yeah.
I thought the budget debate, even though there was good information there, I thought they ridiculed a lot of serious situations, and I didn't appreciate how it was presented, especially in a time where people are trying to recover from the effects of COVID and the economic crisis that it caused on a lot of lower class, middle class Jamaicans. I think it was a mockery of what we endured and what's going on in Jamaica, I thought it was just a show. The
Mm.
facts could have been presented another way, and the glam and the glitter which they seem to have been wanting to present Jamaican people is, for me, it was just too hype of a presentation to deal with such serious matters. And it was dealt with on a certain level for a certain level of people. You getting what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I
Are
don't
you
know if you
talking
don't
the one?
understand from
You talking the one
what
by
point
the?
I'm coming.
Are you talking the one by the minister or the one by the opposition person? Which?
No, 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 by the minister.
Yeah.
And I expected a little bit more empathy.
Mm.
I expected a little bit more empathy, which I did not get from the presentation. I didn't watch it in its entirety. I watched most of it, but what I got from the overall presentation, the facts were there, honestly, and there were some good stuff in there, but it's
Yeah.
just how it was presented. It never came across very empathetic. To me, it was a lot of hype, and I am hoping that they will recognize that real matters, there are real situations that are affecting Jamaican people that we have to look at. And presenting new money, I never thought it was necessary. Jody Marie speaking here. I never think presenting new money was necessary at all. See, I told you he would be riding his bicycle. I told
Yeah.
you.
Coming in from the
Told
movie.
you he would be riding his bicycle. I knew it, right?
So we can
So,
expect somebody.
when we talk about soaring, um, you know, with the cost of living, going up, we as individuals, no matter what country we're in, are going to be impacted by all the things that have happened from COVID to now. This very, I don't even know if it's to call it civil war or world war, because everybody's at war. It may not be physical war, but it's a lot of other wars. It's not, I don't know how to quantify happening, but the impact it is having, the ripple effect of what is happening is affecting everyone.
Mute
Yeah.
Leslie until she finished
Yeah.
talking, please.
Is that Lester?
It's the wind that is
Hear me
The
again?
wind.
Lester,
okay.
you okay,
Until she
boss?
finished talking.
Yeah, man. Give me
So
about 8 minutes. I'm
Can
I'm
you?
a link on the button.
okay, cool.
Okay. What he said?
Hi,
Sorry.
Judy.
So what did he say?
He
What?
says in a few minutes he will link
Okay.
us back.
Okay. Okay.
I
Yeah.
guess he's almost home. All
Yeah.
right. So what I was saying is, for me personally, I expected, the minister to present something a little bit more empathetic towards the Jamaican people. And yes, he did present some very valid point that, the block in the entertainment sector could have, blocked certain people from gaining income and so on. But I would prefer, and maybe this is my own personal preference, that we look long term on how we sustain our country, give people ideas about sustainable ways of making sure that, ideas about how we will move from one level to the next, and do it in a way in which it impacts the
Mm.
common man. It's not just saying, okay, we're open for parties now, so that the lady with her igloo can make some money, or the man with him pan chicken can make some money. You get what I'm saying? Give people more practical ways, because how often will you have an event that a lady can go do her igloo? That, according to him, he's damn right. I'm sorry if I curse. Damn right. That can only provide her Sunday dinner. If she goes to one party this Friday and she makes some money, that can only provide her Sunday dinner, especially if she has 4 or 5 kids. What do you say to this mother now for a long-term economic stability for her and her family? It is
Mm.
not empathetic. It was just a show, and I was not pleased by it as a Jamaican. I was very embarrassed by it. If you're going to be the Minister of Finance presenting a budget, do it in a way where the people, the heart of the people, are what you are presenting. Not to show off flabbergastically, on your counterparts, what you can put together, but give us something that we can work with. You know what I mean? Give us something where people see see a clear path as to, okay, this is where we're going in the next 5 years. This is where we're going to help you how to build wealth in your family, especially since we've gone through a crisis, right? We've gone through a crisis and we're facing another crisis. This is where we want to get you as a country. This Jamaica needs to, the average Jamaican needs to be making this amount per month. Let's show you how we think we can help you to get there, rather than doing the same thing we were doing before, hand to mouth. We need to move from that mindset.
Yeah. Well, what Catherine just said a while ago, governments, especially in developing countries, need to create an environment conducive to their own people, creating solutions to the problems we are facing post-COVID and in the face of this war. And you know the whole thing about in the face of this war and COVID back to back, because after Ukraine and Russia, trust me, I kid you not, there'll be something else, right?
Right.
And it will
Yeah.
just keep going, and
And we can't keep slapping band-aids. We can't keep slapping
yeah,
band-aids.
Right, you are absolutely correct. And Jody, I respect you and respect your opinion, but I must say my perspective and the speech was very different. In this time of war and all the tribulation that we are going through, I must say that the speech was very eloquently delivered. And the fact is that people want to see what they want to see something that, you know what, he is talking to me. We here on this platform, we are educated people. You have people in Jamaica that is not educated or not as eloquent as us, and the break it down to the level of I'm dealing with educated people, I'm dealing with illiteracy, I'm dealing with all that. I have to make sure all the people are included in the speech, and to deliver it in an educated way. Sometimes there's a little fun to it, as far as, and we Jamaican, we love fun, we are fun people, and the fact is that the way it was, and it was delivering it, and there was a lot of positive that I took out of it. The fact that there was even Jamaica now, here in America, we can Zelle money, we can cash up money. There is a
Jamdex,
Irolo Jamex.
Jamdex.
Jamdex, yes,
What is it called, Jody?
Jamdex.
Jamdex that he roll out when you can start doing, it doesn't matter where you are. The same lady who only
Keisha.
earned the dinner, she can also start using that. So it's a factor of what has been done, and there are also implementation of what's gonna be in the 5 and 10 years. But at the same time, America is facing an economical problem. Look at Jamaica, the little spot in the world. They are facing the same or worse problem more than what America or England is facing. So there's not much right now that they can do more than what they're doing. And the fact that they're trying, and we all need to work together and see what we can do to help Jamaica, is working together. And again, if you look at the full speech, it was a very positive where Jamaica is going. And there's some part of it, not all of it, that I agree with. But the fact is that if you listen to the speech and look at what is being promoted, it's positive. Now, to change the money, I'm not here or there. There's one thing I say: is one woman. Why couldn't she get her own money? Why she have to? Why she have to be there with a man? And Marcus Garvey could have been it with somebody else. And
I hear they're going out for dinner. That was a meme that was posted. I hear they're going out. They've been going steady for a while, and it is about time.
Who's going
Yeah,
out?
they've been going steady. We heard they've been going steady for a while, and it's about time they got married. That's what I heard.
It's about time. But then again, just like a man, they buy us dinner, so therefore they expect something. So therefore, they took Nanny. Nanny was the one on the $500 bill. I know that what happened. So now she only get 250. Why they have to add a man to that? Why couldn't they have
because now they have to split the bill because equal rights and justice.
No. You see, as I said to somebody today, I said I know what French kiss is. And I heard that when you dress good, you dress like an Italian. But I'm not for that Dutch piece of crap. Right? So no.
Well,
so no.
I'm just here. I'm just drinking water and minding my own business.
So no, that shouldn't have. I don't know what the situation is behind changing the money or what is the cost of that? If it costs the government money to do that, that's waste of money. You understand? You know, we are going to Bitcoin and cryptocurrency anyways, because Russia that's where they're gonna head it to. So if you're looking to the future, then those are some of the facts that you have to look into as government, you know. So
All right, guys, I'm gonna have to go now.
oh, Jody, we're gonna miss it, but we will talk. We will talk. Definitely, we need to
Take care,
talk.
guys, for
We'll
sure.
have an Ochi session.
A who?
An Ochi session. It's an Ochi dance.
Hey, Jody, you didn't know? You didn't know you can leave Kingstown? You can leave Jamaica, and you can always come to Ochi. We're a country by.
No problem. No problem. I take care, guys. Have a good evening.
I love you.
All right, Jody, you take care of yourself.
All right, be safe.
Yeah.
But Silver,
you know, just to let you know, your mate, Champs, was wanting to come in, and
but
he said something like, well, I put in the link inside there. He wanted to come in. Has anyone come across any of Nanny offspring? That's a very interesting question, isn't it?
Yeah. So I was having problem with the link, and I finally figured it out. If you know, so I don't know. The second link you sent, the first one was not working for me.
Yes. Nanny offspring. That would be a good one. It'd be good to find out who is Nanny offspring, because there must be a lineage. I'm sure Chief Curry.
Scotty is something else, you know. You Scotty, you have to come join us, you know. If I even show your Aki face, it's all right. But it's man.
Yeah.
Sir Percival, what are you drinking, sir?
Percival Patterson.
Why? Mango snappers apple. Okay.
Oh, snappers means orange.
Well, thank you for educating me today. I learned something new every day.
Well, cheers, guys. Let's end up on a healthy thing now. It's like the Russian girl that said, thank you for getting rid of all those fast food stuff, you know, and let us have healthy things, you know what I mean? Lester, what movie you watch again? Because you're always watching this movie. I don't know.
It's a movie called 335. Very good movie. It's an action film. Mostly 5 women that star it. Very, very good.
Back again to the we really need the woman to take over the world in it, Vita.
I've been telling you guys, and then look what they did. It's such a I don't even know what to call it, because Nanny's on the $500 bill, Lester. Why couldn't she stay on it? They only give her 500, and they have she have to share it with a man. They always think that we need a man, so they have to put a man there. Yeah.
Have you got any insight, Lester, as to this change of this money and putting it? Why they join up? Why they have to put Nanny with a man? What if Nanny knowing a man? What if Nanny is wasn't into men?
Right. Why?
and Lester, at the same time, Scotty did ask a question. Have we got any ancestry of Nanny, any offsprings?
Yeah, what? Me not answer the question from Scotty, because Scotty a play elusive. Scotty will join the show.
Oh,
and make us see him face.
Well, actually,
so me not take the question. Me not take the question from Scotty.
Well, somebody said he's a mystery man. That is why, and Jody sort of find it very intriguing. That's why we had to play a special music for Scotty earlier.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nanny had children, and Nanny was married. I don't know how this new thing come in now. So Nanny never in a men.
It's not news. It was just a question by Silver.
Oh.
I'm being politically correct.
Okay. You don't have to be.
I choose to be.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fine. That's fine. I really don't see this big hullabaloo over the money. People put too much meaning in it. You know, it's that our money needed upgrading, and it got a great upgrading. Our money needed to be of international security standards, and that's what is happening. It is more readable by the visually impaired. It looked prettier.
Pretty like
and
money.
we definitely
Pretty
Pretty
like
like
pretty
money.
money.
like money, pretty like money, and
Yeah.
um we needed a link between the 5,000 and the 1,000. We definitely needed that. Um, it was creating so much problems in the society. To create change, smaller change. So it's definitely needed. I heard a lot of people saying that we should have gone to the 10,000, and I had to educate them. So once you start go greater, bigger notes, that means the economy in a problem. And if you had gone bigger notes, the 14% growth GDP growth that Dr. Nigel Clark reported would have been a lie.
What
So
about the whole issue regarding Michael Manley and Siaga on the same one? People are saying, you know, and hold on, before I went to that one, what about the 50 cent and all those things? That all those coins gone now then, isn't it?
no, I think them still have 50 cent, but like I think 50 cents are the smallest one them have now. I think, but I think below 50 cents, I don't think they have it anymore.
Mm.
Um, Edward Siaga and Michael Manley on the same note, them ruling at the same time.
Yeah.
You know, they were arch rivals, and it's like a yin
Uni-
and a yang. It's
hmm
a yin and a yang. Um, I don't think people fully understand that Edward Siaga did not hate Michael Manley, nor Michael Manley hate Edward Siaga. They just had different viewpoint in
Political
policy.
ideas.
That's just it. Um, if persons were to educate themselves, Siagas um, and Manley needed each other. You know, um,
One of the things, let's say, I was just thinking to myself is that why is there such a need to appease political leaders or so on money or I mean why is there such a need? Why is there such a I don't know if it's incestuous. Why is there such a need? It's a bit clammy that you have to put everybody on all of these money. Why is there such a need? Why is there such a need to appease everyone? That's what it looks like.
because Jamaica has again, as I said on this show some months ago,
Culture.
that our politicians are our royalty. You know, so if you're looking at other countries that have kings and queens and stuff like that, they're the ones who are on the money. From the beginning of age, when we introduced money, there's always been politicians and money. So it's not a new thing. It's not a new thing. Is in recent times, also recent times, but more modern times, they start put social figures and money. You know, um, but if I had the power, and this is something that I had passed on up the ranks to our prime minister, that an amazing thing that would have been a youth grabber
Mm.
would have to put the honorable Usain Bolt on a note along with Louis Bennett and Bob Marley.
That's the whole
Some
point.
people
That's
think
that's that's my whole point again. It's like it's getting out of hand, isn't it? Well, well, we
But
have
it's
to.
showing respect, though. It's showing respect to who have done something for the country. And yes, it might be in history book, but it also, and this is not just Jamaica, it's all over the world that they put. You have the Queen and your money, right? And it would be nice if she would have shared a spot with somebody, because she's, but the fact is that it's respecting who have done something for the country. How do you show respect to them? This is one form of showing them respect and appreciation, and that you have put Jamaica and the people here to show how great we are. So how do you show, how
um
do you show them respect otherwise? That's one part of it.
Mm.
honestly, Silburn, we have not, as a country, as a nation, as a society, shown any type of gratefulness to our musical and sports ambassadors. None
Mm.
at all. When you look at the road that they named after Bob Marley, a lot of people don't know where it is. You know, um,
Bob Marley Highway.
no, Bob Marley Avenue or something like that. It's in um,
Oh yeah, Corvette Gardens.
Corville Garden. Yeah, but it's a very dilapidated and very bad road. What I'm saying that it is not a historic road. Like in America, you have Martin Luther King Boulevard and all that thing where it was highlighted. There was we have not done that for Bob, and not just Bob, but the Whalers and a whole, and many other persons who have contributed to our society socially. Yeah, some people are saying that Bob Marley don't work. I'm saying, listen, the transformation of reggae internationally is single-handedly by Bob Marley, single-handedly. You know, I'm not a big Marley fan, but you can't deny the work that he's done.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah, yeah.
when you look at what Usain Bolt has done for a sport, when you look at what Usain Bolt has done for young young people in Jamaica in terms of inspiration, when you look at what he has done for Jamaica, right? It is a mountain compared to what Rihanna has done for Barbados. And yes, the Barbados honor Rihanna, right? A lot of people, a lot of people identify Rihanna with America more than Barbados.
Mm.
You see him both live at Jamaica. You see him both rep Jamaica. If he's going to do an advertisement, right? The only way that advertisement is done overseas is unless the the equipment is not available in Jamaica or too expensive to fly come to Jamaica. But you see him both have a clause in him contract that in commercials has to be shot in Jamaica and employ Jamaicans.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Well. Anyway, I mean, honor is due, but I just keep saying, the discussion keeps going on every week or every day. As somebody else come up on the scene, we have to. It's like there's this. I don't know. It's like there's this impassioned need. I don't know. I mean, there's so many people in this world, and there's so many people doing great things. I mean, how do you honor everybody by actually the work
Yeah,
that they have done? The work that they have done is already the honor. The work that they have done by actually setting the stage, setting the pathway, isn't that a sufficient honor?
no, no, Silver.
I was
Let's
asking.
just be real. No, I'm answering it, but I'm saying no. Let's be realistic right now. Since since Bob Marley, who as a Jamaican, right, has had an international footprint in a megastar way on the world. Usain Bolt, Shaggy didn't do that. Shabba didn't do that. Yellow Man never do that. Sean Paul never do that. I'm talking international footprint on the world, like recognizable person, recognizable feet.
Yeah.
Usain
Well,
Bolt is the only person since Bob Marley.
yeah. Well, I mean, it will be a discussion that will be going on forever until Usain Bolt leaves, or you know, um, and until you Leicester become the greatest as well. They're gonna want to talk about getting you on the money, and then Vita as well. So we're all going to want to be getting on the money as well. So, but I just think sometimes we these are somewhat, what should I say, lovely, fluttery distractions to the real fundamental issues in life, because having all of these guys on money do not help any jack person in Jamaica who is suffering now. Nice money, pretty money, as Michelle said, don't help nobody. It will not help one iota of anybody who is suffering financially with the economic crisis. It is a fluff. It is a nice fluttery feeling to make people feel nice. But after they go out in bed and wake up, them still hungry. I'm
Well,
just giving you the reality.
yeah, yeah. And I don't care who's on the money. I just want to make my money.
Well, Michelle said, please, Jamaica money have value nothing. Who cares how pretty the money is?
But
You know?
it's not just Jamaica, you know. It's the fact that it's not just Jamaican money. It's what's happening in the world right now.
Yes,
And we
yes,
have to understand that And Jamaica, whether he or she, is holding its fort. It's
Yes.
holding its fort, and it's producing. We have made difference. And Silver, I'm not gonna toot my own on, but I sent you a a link the other day where since 2010 I've been trying to do a professor, become a adjunct professor,
Mm.
in a situation where no black woman have done it before.
Yes.
And I've been trying to get in this to be a professor in this for since 2010, and I have to go get certification after certification to get this. And the fact is that one thing that have been instilled in us Jamaican is that we never limit ourselves. We have never given up on anything. We go out there and we make an impact. And when I got it, I felt so good. I had to send it to you guys because the fact is that we Jamaicans, there's something in us that we go out there and make it happen. Now, do you know how important for Jamaica to recognize their people to say that, look, these are Jamaican going out there and do it. And I respect the fact, but it's a political thing that everyone and the money is on the politics. And what Lester is saying, which I gathered, is that what about the other musician or Usain Bolt who run? That's talent right there. Because I could go back to Jamaica now and run for politics. And do, what qualification do I need more than learn how to lie or thief or steal or whatever? But the fact is that that's talent that Bob Marley and Usain Bolt use, that take discipline, that take focus. When you look at the days that they practice and they go out there and they focus,
Yeah.
that's something that we need to teach our generation and our young people coming up now, that it's focus, and what you put out there you get back. It's
The,
not just easy.
the discipline, what you're talking about, and the
Yes,
tenacity and the passion and the purpose that can make people successful. That is what you're talking about. So,
right.
therefore, in bringing this home, then to the key topic, Lester, was cost of living soar. About how will you soar, or how do you bulletproof your life? And I think this is a challenge for anyone and for person. How do you bulletproof your life financially at this time when the world is going through a turmoil? We just came out of COVID, whereby many were impacted and still have been feeling the impact. And as they're getting out of it, Putin lick shot, COVID just come out of the way, and all of a sudden there's another thing. And after Putin, there's going to be another one. How can we move away from being reactive and being proactive? Vita, you're saying?
I'm looking for a sugar daddy. I'm looking for somebody for my money stream. I'm looking I'm looking if I can make my whole money, I'm looking for a sugar daddy who
Well,
can.
at least you have an agenda. You got a plan, and you're structured.
Yes,
At
yes.
least
So I'm
you
gonna
put-
plan.
Vita, I apologize for cutting you, Vita. You for your age already the sugar grandfather.
Shot fired! Shot fired! All right.
Yes. Never heard of one before.
I never heard of one, but Mr. Grandfather, if you're out there, I'm looking for a sugar grandfather. This is Lester. I'm gonna put that on a shirt right now.
Listen,
I
that
don't.
shirt,
I don't even have a comeback for that one, and normally I do.
that shirt, that shirt will sell. You know, that shirt will sell. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
That's how I'm gonna make my new income, my new stream of money. Thank you, Lester, for the idea, and that's what.
But no problem, ma'am. I'm here to serve. But
Yes.
Silburn, if you allow me a few minutes, you know the party that I represent. I am I am disappointed year after year
Mm.
by my party. I'm disappointed by the government of Jamaica over the last 60 years, especially in the last 30 years. We have to stop being, as you said, rightly said, reactive. We have to start being proactive. There are some tough decisions that we have to make as a country. Number one, Our health condition as a country is a high cost. So our lifestyle, our food lifestyle choices have to change.
Yes.
With diet a kill we. So it costing the government and costing the country a lot of money to treat lifestyle diseases like hypertension, like
Diabetes.
diabetes and all these things, just because of the food that we eat. So we have to make a decision I think as a nation, the government have to make a decision to say, look here, we have to move to some healthier staple. We have to move to some healthier choices. And we have to start mass producing these things. Right? Also, when we look at what is Jamaica's niche market product? What? I mean, we mash up banana, we mash up sugar cane, we are mash up ganja right now, we mash up reggae. What is it that we are a niche market for,
What's our
right?
key USP?
And
You're talking what's our key USP when it comes on to food or
no,
products?
no,
Is that what
no,
you're saying?
just product overall.
Yes.
We no longer,
Yeah,
we no
and what
longer
now you say what is Jamaica offering now?
exactly. We're not offering anything unique, you know. And like farming, how we are doing farming now in Jamaica is how we used to do farming during slavery. At the same way, we have not upgrade technology with farming. We have not
Sorry, Alice, I
upgrade
was
with
wondering why I
information.
wasn't seeing properly. I realized I had on the wrong glasses. Anyway, I just realized I'm being reactive, not proactive. Go on.
Yeah, and we 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 are a country that have a lot of mountains. We're totally surrounded by water. We have a lot of wind. How comes we're not utilizing wind energy, water energy, and solar energy,
Yeah.
right? It is not. We can do so much more with China and let them offer us incentives, let them offer us technology and resources, other than that, take the cheap money from China. There are things that we can get, tangible things that we can get from China that will cut our dependency on crude oil, because that's what we need. We need to have cheap manufacturing
Or cost
energy.
effective, cost effective, cost effective
Yeah,
instead of saying cheap, because cheap
yeah.
is just cheap.
It's
Sometimes we say
relative.
cheap
Cheap is
sometimes,
relative.
and the cheap doesn't mean to say the quality is worse. It's just
Right.
that market
Yes.
forces make it look. Yeah, go on, listen. Yes, I understand what you're saying.
Exactly. Even how our education system is structured, we need to start gearing people in our way to stop taking them useless degree. Yeah. A lot of people go college have some useless degree.
Yes.
I think about 60 to 70% of the people them who go university, them don't in the field where them study for. You understand me? A lot of
Mm.
people don't in the field where them study for. So we have to start gear them towards, listen, this is a better alternative. We need to start putting some education into the skill set area, like welding, water welding, plastic welding,
Yes.
underwater welding, carpentry. We need to show them, say that, look here, plumbing, right, is a sustainable, viable, respectable income. I was talking to somebody today that worked with the government of the city of Rotterdam, and she said that she gets a very, very good salary, but a garbage man get almost 2 times her pay. A garbage man,
Mm.
right? Now, one of the reasons that nobody really want to do the garbage work, so them offer them all type of fringe benefits, all type of incentive, and the pay is very good. Now, look at how we treat our garbage people. You understand me? Them can't even get the proper gloves to wear God work. That's the proper gloves. So I'm saying, I think our Prime Minister Andrew Holness is failing the country. Vita, you know that for me, I say this publicly, Vita, I'm passionate
Okay,
about it,
now. Okay.
I'll put him on
right? I
blast.
think that we need a serious restructuring of how we are going to set the future and set the country on a path of real development, real growth, real change, real effectiveness in the marketplace in the future.
Wow.
If we don't change the society, like take a grip and change the society, you understand me? The next 60 years, Jamaica is still in the same position we're in now. Crime in Jamaica can stop in the next 6 months. Crime in Jamaica can stop like almost to,
Agreed.
to null.
I agree.
Easy.
I agree with that, but I am a little taken aback by your straightforwardness of what you have just said. And this will be reached, and tomorrow we'll hear about this because that was kind of really straightforward.
Well,
Based,
the straightforward is that you can still look for a sugar daddy, according to Michelle. Michelle said you can still look for a sugar daddy. So why can't you look for a sugar daddy? Just to
well,
let you know.
yes, the people are texting me and saying that was rude because you shouldn't have. That was kind of a diss, but I don't take it as this. It's all right because I'm a grandma, and if I find me a sugar daddy grandfather, that's all right. But Lester, that was a good one. But the fact is that the
Sorry, I just like to play the music. Yeah, go on. Yeah.
what he said about Jamaica and that we need number one, the crime. I can't see why the crime cannot be. That is the biggest problem as far as we have the tourist industry that we have in Jamaica right now. We have a lot of other Caribbean islands. We have the ocean, the beaches. A lot of Caribbean have the same thing. But what of some of my friends who went to Jamaica? The Jamaican people provide something different. The Jamaican people provide a authenticity that a lot of other Caribbean don't have. A lot of different countries don't have it. Now, a lot of people are not going to Jamaica because of the crime. So that's something that, yes, you are absolutely correct that the government need to look into that, look into where the problem is. And what is Jamaica offering now? Nothing. So those are some of the steps they need to take, step back and said, okay, what is it that we need to do? Yeah, instead of changing the money, put down on the crime. So I agree with Lester on that. And the fact is that in Jamaica, we are so unique that there should be more situations coming up to Jamaica to say, this is Jamaica. You look at commercial happening right now, and it's the same thing that any other Caribbean islands is offering. Jamaica not offering anything different. I mean, the women there are amazing. We are different. You can't find beauty like this anywhere else. But women are coming to Jamaica for Jamaican women. The men might. That's not what Jamaica have to offer. And the fact that other countries with the cannabis industry is multi-billions of dollars in America, and a lot of 90% of the Americans or the other European countries, people that used to go to Jamaica, this was the reason they were going to Jamaica. And now you are telling me that the dispensaries that's in Jamaica right now are owned by people from Canada or people from America, not even in partnership with the Bob Marley family. But these are stuff that the Jamaican people not even aware of, that this is something that the government could have marketed. And again, Lisa Anna did talk about this in one of her speech, and I totally agree with her.
Yeah.
And that's why Jamaica needs to let some of the women in politics move up to another level. Not only in the world, but Jamaica need to do that, because Jamaica is not producing and is not being the Jamaica that it used to be. We're not offering anything.
You know, I'm just thinking and listening. And let's say you touched on a point there. You touched on a point, Vita. And it's like a deja vu, whereby we reach to a point all the while, and we always come back to this point here from the Michael Manley period, and it's back to self-sufficient and us feeding ourselves. And when you fly into Jamaica, and you all know when you're touching down in Jamaica, you see all this lush greenery.
Yes.
You know, when I'm touching down into the UK after coming back from Jamaica, it's depressing because you see all these rooftop and it just, oh, here we go again. That is when they're touching into London. And I'm just thinking to myself and said, it would be so great if people could be inspired, or young men could be inspired in the whole agriculture sector. And farming could be such a massive thing in Jamaica based on how we have this great landscape. But farming is not sexy because we have not made it sexy.
It is sexy in COVID. COVID make all the farmers sexy because they have food.
But I know, I hear what you're saying, because you're operating based on a necessity at that time. But you don't want to operate on a necessity for a period of time, because after COVID, we are seeing the war. And as we said a while ago, after the war, with Putin, you're gonna have a kickback effect without having the wheat, without having the oil, and when the cost of living is so high, you ever start get some ackee. Think about it. Growing up in Jamaica, your neighbor, you have ackee. I remember there's an ackee tree next door,
Yes.
breadfruit tree,
Yes.
you know, we have
Yes.
we have a chicken coop at the back of the house there.
Yes.
Chicken.
Coconut, the coconut to make the coconut oil. So that's a meal right there. The ackee, you know. Yeah.
Yeah, everything
but
you're supposed. Yeah, go on, Lester. Yeah.
um, you're so right. But you know, one of the things them that we have to look on Silburn is
Mm.
one of the reasons why farming no sexy or farming no seen as viable is because the town school in the farming.
I'm sorry.
The town school
The
doesn't do
town the
farming.
town school in the farming.
Okay.
When
Okay.
in
But
the
is that one
eighties, in
part
the
of Jamaica?
eighties,
Okay, go ahead.
no, but yeah, but town is the epicenter of Jamaica. Kingston is the epicenter of Jamaica. We can't deny that because like especially like downtown Kingston generate more revenue than Montego Bay and Negril put together, right? Just that is just downtown Kingston alone. I'm not talking about the whole of Kingston. What I'm saying is that the urban schools need to facilitate farming. Now, I've said this for the last since 98, 97, I've said this. We need to scrap with Jamaica senior men's football program. Scrap it, right? We have this money cup thing because if we're not going to target and target football as an industry, it don't make sense. But we are not targeting football as an industry. We went to the World Cup in 98. We have not gone back there since. Every country that went to the World Cup the first time in 98 have gone back there since. Their local league has developed, right? There's nobody coming to Jamaica football, right?
Mm.
Jamaica is not developing football as an exporting them as a income. Japan has done it, Croatia has done it. Now, what I'm saying is that when you look at a lot of schools in Kingston, where we have them have this large play field, but why are they having these play fields when they're not producing world star players, right?
Mm.
Use that land and turn it into a something there, a farm. We call the farm now again, man. Greenhouse, right?
Yes.
So you have the students in there know how to set up the greenhouse, do the physical construction. You have students at the same school know how to do the technical aspect of the greenhouse, know how to do the scientific research in the foods and vegetables and everything there. Packaging, marketing, consultancy, sales, all of that can be developed in each of the schools. And just farming, right? And then with greenhouse technology, we can grow exotic fruits and foods, right?
Yes.
Which it serve a country. So imagine we are market Jamaican grown strawberry or Jamaican grown grapes and anything there. It's an exotic fruit. We need to start think outside of the box. Some
So
people
what?
might say,
Go ahead.
Vita. Some people might say, why football important or football this? No. If you look at the top 10 countries in the world where big money producing are the richest country in the world, them don't have a big sport program with the exception of the United States. They don't have a big sports program,
What the
right?
UK?
Huh?
So what the UK? United Kingdom, England, football.
But what I'm saying is that football is not the biggest earner in a UK. You have massive industries in a UK.
Mm.
Lester, we can't compete against England with the money they have with soccer or football as we call it.
Well, they're kicking out. They're kicking out Abramovich, the Russian guy. So whosoever is an Arsenal fan, they're not going to support at this time being because them.
But
Yeah. Mm.
right. But the thing about it is that Lester, let's go back to basic.
Yeah.
Again, when I was in Jamaica, when I was living in Jamaica growing up as a kid, we're from Silburn. We see tourists walk in Jamaica all the time. 90% of the time, they have a red stripe in there
There's Glen Royce. Glen Royce is an Ochiman. You know the Aki tree there next door to me. See that? Another Ochiman there. Another Ochiman there. Let's appear Ochi people up on the live tonight. Sorry, you tongue guys. Let's
we adapt Leicester, man. We adapt Leicester. But listen, Leicester,
You
what
know,
What I wanted to say, let's go back to basic. I live in Orchard, and I live by White River, where I'm always at the beach. I'm always at the ocean, because a lot of people know me with Champs. I work as a lifeguard. I was one guy I used to work with as a lifeguard when I was in Jamaica, going to college and working, right? I work as a lifeguard. But let's go back to basic. Why can't we produce weed? Why can't Jamaica is known as the place where a lot of American kids go down there to smoke weed. Why can't we farm the weed and make weed, the marijuana, whatever we want to call it? Here it's cannabis. It's multi-billion dollars. It's soaring here. Yeah. Why can't Jamaica be that destination location where, you know what? People used to go to Jamaica in groups just for that. No, I went to Jamaica, and as I said, Canada is making billions of dollars farming in Jamaica. The dispensary is owned by an American guy. Why is it that it's American and Canadian and the United Kingdom people are going to Jamaica and investing and farming and bringing it out of Jamaica and making the money? The money is leaving Jamaica. The weed is leaving Jamaica. Why cannot a Jamaican be there? I tried to get a license down there, $200,000 they tried to charge me as a Jamaican. So what I'm going to go to Jamaica and do and farm it illegally. So therefore, the Canadians cannot do it. Silver, that wasn't a plug, but anyways.
So therefore, then buy the weed out, take the weed out, and also the money from the weed.
And also the money, and the government is not seeing this. The government is not seeing this. So, I mean, I'm not calling out anybody, Lester, but I'm just saying that, can you call somebody to call somebody so my people, your people can call my people? Because I've been trying to get this license and I can't get it. But the man in Canada who have billions of dollars can get it. The man in America who have billions of dollars can get it. So call somebody. Call your people to call my people. This not right. Yes. Yes.
If you go to Jamaica, me I go link Miss Lola here.
Okay. Miss Lola. Miss Lola is beautiful, yes. But
Miss Lola, husband is in charge of agriculture.
The government, yes, the Jamaica. That's at least
Charles. Yes. Is that Charles Jr.?
We're not gonna call name. Let's not.
No. It's politics.
No, but when you're linking personal situation, let's say you have to be careful because you have a problem for coming on the show and saying personal shit that, excuse my friend, that we're not supposed to say. You understand me? So you need to watch what you say on the show. You've been calling out people that you're not supposed to.
Cheers. Let's have a drink. Cheers. Listen, you need to cheers, right? Thank you very much. Yes, we rub him just like I rub you earlier, college.
Exactly. You call me hold. He called me hold earlier. Yeah, that's shot fire.
We're banning from the movies. We talked to the Netherlands guy and ban him from the movies and so like that for about 2 months.
But this but Silbert, but think about it. And I know we grew up in Jamaica as far as thinking that the people who smoke weed, they're not productive. I work in the medical field. And the marijuana, the cannabis as they call it in America, is the biggest growing in the medical field in America. The biggest pharmacology, they don't do narcotics or oxycodone or all those medication anymore, right? They're not doing narcotics, they're doing weed. They're doing the cannabis for whatever sickness you have, cancer, all that. That's what is happening. Why can't Jamaica go in that field? When everywhere in the world you go, Jamaica is away from Amsterdam. Jamaica is known for that. Why? Okay, it's positive now. Back then it was negative. It's positive now. Why can't we go on that positiveness?
You know what you have to do. Just Simone Johnson here. She's from a different Caribbean country background, and she's saying this. I've been saying this as well. The Jamaican government is missing a huge income. And Scotty also said that, like I said, the government get paid to keep you poor.
You know what? I'm done with Scotty.
Cham said, I wouldn't mind. Oh, right. A sugar grandma. That's your mate. He's winding you up. You know what I mean? And Catherine said, Catherine, she's in Netherlands, Lester.
T-shirt print tomorrow.
Yeah. Jamaica should be one of the listen what Catherine said, and she's a very educated lady. Well, she's from Netherlands, actually, Lester. So that's why the educated.
Oh, really? Lester, you know her?
She's a
No,
person,
but
she
I would
was
like
she
to
was
meet
supposed
her.
to come on, but she wasn't able to. Netherlands sort of blocked her from my show for I don't know what reason, what it is. Jamaica
So
should
it's
be
for
one
me
of
then.
the- I don't-
So it's for me
listen,
then, Silver.
listen, you got powers. Listen, you got powers. Jamaica should be one of the world's largest producers of CBD
Yes.
products.
Yes.
And I don't know what does that mean. So the conversation that we're having today as to this question, cost of living soars, but how will you soar? If Jamaica collectively work with its people to look at what can be the next thing, let's say it should be ganja.
And that's what my business that's gonna soar. That's what I'm gonna do. If I can't get it legal in Jamaica, I'm gonna go illegal. Sorry.
Stop
Silver.
saying that. Sure. I secretary no take
Hey, Lester, it's not me. It's not me. It's Crown. It's Crown saying it.
But Silver,
Yeah.
After the year, we can break down why ganja is not that, the industry that it should be in Jamaica. We can't do it on live because me go call people name and we can't call people name.
You can't do that. We stop. We stop.
And it's it's not like we can't call people name because the players are the players who are controlling it are public persons who everybody know. You have to go through them. You understand me? But
Yes.
the thing is, and it's not just a bottom line. Anything that can create a high income level for poor people in Jamaica without a degree, without a academic qualification, right? The government of Jamaica, not JLPR people, but the government of Jamaica, whichever party, find a way to control it and let us only the elite, right? Have control over it. Again, go back to coffee. Poor people alone used to farm coffee, right? The government move in, and you see all of the big man them start moving. The man lives them, the tweets them, the Michael Lee Chin and all of you start moving, right? And you push the poor man out of coffee. Now the poor man now have to sell to these big farmers, right? Banana are the same thing.
And they are getting a cut
poor
like
man alone is a banana.
And they are getting cut like they are middle people.
Exactly.
And they should be the key player. Wow.
Sugar cane are the same thing. Poor people used to farm sugar cane after slavery. Poor people used to farm sugar cane, right? The big man they move in again. Big estate they move in. Appleton, all the people they move in. And what? The small man get cut out of it. So these are some of the things that constantly happening. The ganja industry it's not just smoking alone, When you look on when Dr. T.P. Lecky in the 70s have the eye drop and make out a ganja, right? That's from about 71 or 72 in make it. Why aren't we the world's leader in manufacture in our ganja eye drops? Why aren't we making clothing? Canada is the world's largest manufacturer in ganja clothing.
So therefore, we can clearly say, just like how the music is playing, because we're wrapping up, as Catherine is saying, we need leaders who will provide pathway to local ownership of the factors of production. Leadership is something crucial. We've been talking about leadership for a long time. In everything, we've been talking about leadership. And similar issues in South Africa. In 2013, it was estimated, and let me just read this. I'm going to put this up here. Because Catherine, she's from South Africa originally. It was estimated that 6,000 European families owned 85% of the agricultural land with no change a decade later. She's South African. It was estimated that 6,000 European families own 85% of the agricultural land with no change a decade later. Someone said earlier, governments are paid to keep the people poor. And
Scotty said that.
Scotty said that, right? Yeah. The system is designed to keep it. So therefore, there need to be a breakout. Like there need to be a Putin that shake up things. Figuratively.
And,
Figuratively.
Silburn, what I'm about to say, a lot of people may dislike me or dislike what I'm gonna say. You know me not care. That's why I'm gonna rate Nelson Mandela.
Mm.
That what catching just right, and the biggest reason why I'm gonna rate Nelson Mandela, because when you look at who control the power and the money, the diamond mine, the gold mine, the minerals, the big businesses, the big farmlands, everything, are the white people, the Europeans, them same way.
So
And
therefore,
once them come in the power, that should not have been.
so what you're saying that an opportunity was missed at that time when Mandela was in power.
Of course, there should have been a drastic education first, because you can't just turn over something to people who are educated and have the skill to run it.
So
A
we go back
drastic
to
education.
so we go back to Mugabe then. What Mugabe was trying to do.
Mugabe had a great plan.
Gaddafi.
Gaddafi had a great plan.
Who take them out?
Okay. So the
Vita boss. The Vita boss.
Vita, we're back to that thing again. We're back to it. America. America is one of
all right,
the...
okay. All right, so let's go back to Jamaica now.
No. Let's just say America. Back to this whole NATO thing. It goes right back there, you know?
We can't live in the past. We can't live in the past. Let's go.
Right.
Let's go back to Jamaica and what we can do to better Jamaica. And Silbert, we here on this platform and the people that are listening, our government, we need to speak up. Our government need to know that at this point, Jamaica need a different. The crime in Jamaica, something needs to be done. The corruption of the politician in Jamaica, something needs to be done. Letting the poor people have a say as far as surviving and not only finding Sunday dinner, something needs to be done.
Well, I tell you what, from this show tonight, we're going to make sure we draft an article.
Yes.
Whereby Talk and Sip weighs in onto the crisis of leadership within Jamaica in regards to being reactive, not proactive. You know what Nigel Clark has to say about that as well, whereby we're missing out on opportunities that should be taking the people further and not backwards. Being reactive, not being proactive.
Yes.
Being reactive.
Yes.
And I hope these. I think, and Catherine was my political, assistant. Who is there? Catherine is going to help me with this. We're going to draft something.
Yes.
Let's input on your.
Tell Catherine to give me a link.
Yes. Nelson created parastatals to encourage government ownership of resources. Mbeki should have carried on the mantle as an economist. All our leaders have all since then. That's what Catherine said.
Look at him, Mbeki, correcting you. Look at him. We're correcting.
Anyway.
But Lester, call your people so they can call my people, because we need to have a connection, because we need to take Jamaica to a new direction. So make it happen.
Do you remind me when you say call my people to your people?
Your people, call my people.
If I'm trying to get somebody on my show sometime and they get a little break on BBC, the first day they get a break on BBC and I say, I like to come on my show. Okay, can you call my people? Get your people call my people. I said, forget that, man.
Let your people call my. So let's call your people to call my people so we can make this connection, because Jamaica need a new direction. And a lot of the politicians in Jamaica, they need to retire. The people in Jamaica in politics right now, they're old, Lester. You call it be old, but they're old. They need to step down. So young people with innovation and futuristic values and futuristic goals need to step up. So you need to talk to your people. They need to retire right now.
Noreen asked me a question where a lot of people ask me, say, if me no want to run for office in Jamaica. That's one of the problems we have, you know. You see, everybody who talk intelligent or have great ideas who want to run for office. A private sector have a change Jamaica, you know.
Yes. You're right about that, Lester, because right now, Lester, I can say this. If you go in and you go to the ranks, you're just going to get sucked up, and the Lester that we used to talk to with that independent voice would not be there anymore.
Yes, you're correct. And I'll be Lester assistant, and Lester will be talking to no poor people and no black people.
There you go. And then all of a sudden, him change. You know what I'm saying? Him change. So that's the thing. So therefore, the tail will have to wag the dog in this situation, and that is why people need to understand that leadership can come from all different facets, all different corners. And ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you so much for coming on tonight. For those on Instagram, those on Facebook, those on YouTube. But I'm gonna stay while I just wrap up and bring in these salient points.
Right, my sugar grandfather. If you're out there,
yes. Make sure that if you are a sugar grandfather, we've got with the advice of Lester.
Yes, he's my advisor, sugar grandfather. So if you're out there, contact Silver and Lester.
Yeah, but the key and most important thing is this whole topic about how do we bulletproof our lives with this high inflation which is coming. And I think people have to think about that very much, think about that very seriously. But what we have gathered, and we keep gathering this each week and every time, even through COVID, is a lack of leadership. We're seeing a lack of effective leadership in governments around the world. Lack of leadership is actually what is causing the problem with Ukraine and Russia, because the leadership with NATO and it, has been one of the failing factor. Because we have seen the history. With what is happening now with countries like Jamaica, I think personally, having pretty money doesn't change anything. I believe that all these nice things doesn't change anything. What is needed is something which is substantial, productive, and very powerful, that is long lasting, not just something to make you feel good. Someone said once, and they said this, that they're so glad that the dance and them things were shut down, because sometimes it is used as a little fluff. I know people like to feel nice, but sometimes it takes you away from the reality. And there's a period of time, I believe, that a nation, just like how I will agree with Zelensky on one thing. Zelensky is actually standing the ground and making uncomfortable decisions by standing with his people, even if he's raised to the ground. And I believe that leadership at this time in countries like Jamaica need to actually stand their ground and go all the way to ensure that their people live even better than them. People living better than them.
Well said.
That's what I think.
Well said.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Well said.
Lester, any last word? I know you can always go better than that.
Yeah, long live Vladimir Putin.
Long live Vladimir Putin. Well, I did not take up my Russian vodka today because people are having issues with Russian vodka. I don't drink vodka, but I want to make sure that I get a different variety of Russian vodka. Net. That's I'll speak a little Russian. Dobry den, dobry utro. Das vidane spashos. Da.
And I speak Jamaican. Get me my license for the weed so I could make sure that I make money in Jamaica. I don't care about the pretty money. I just believe in making money. And so I could elevate, educate the young women of Jamaica and make sure that they see a brighter future Jamaica. Big up Jamaica.
Catherine, can jij Ruslan praten?
Let's stop cuss off and try chat up.
No, he just flirt with her.
You see, you don't know what I'm saying. So that's a lie for me.
You tell her.
You guys don't know what I said.
Yeah, you told her something about Silver and Mother.
I'm just trying to test Catherine's Dutch. So I asked her something in Dutch a while ago.
Yeah. Well, anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for Catherine. Thank you for coming on. What you said, we have a minimum age to run for office. We need a maximum age. We need young minds with fresh ideas, definitely.
Yes.
Catherine, she gave a laugh right there. Yeah. Oh, that. Somebody responded. Let's say that makes sense.
Oh, oké. Oh, wel, goed. Geen probleem.
All right,
Alright.
guys.
Ik ben een docent. Dus
That's
ik
the
kan
one.
proberen, misschien Rusland leren.
Okay,
Vita.
let's take it off the year. Me talk Jamaican, so me want everybody to know. So big up Jamaica, and
Big
a
up
Jamaican
Jamaica.
me talk.
Bruh,
And
bruh, bruh.
bruh, watch your eyes for life.
Vita, have a good night, yeah?
Uh, Silver,
Yes.
before we go, I just asked her if she can speak Russian, and she answered and said no, she can only speak a little Dutch.
So Lester, I have a joke. I said to somebody earlier. I said I
There's so
know.
many, there's so many Putin fans on there.
Yes, Lester. I said to someone earlier. I said I know French kissing. I know they said dress like an Italian because you dress good, but I don't know no Dutch because somebody wanted to take me to a date and tell me we have to go Dutch. So I said no, I don't know Dutch.
Yeah, I always find that one about Dutch there and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
I was like no, that's good.
Okay.
Gentlemen, my beautiful Jamaican people and my handsome Orcharias Silburn, watching for life.
Can pick up. Let's anoint. Let's anoint. Let's as an Ochiman.
Lester, big
No,
up
no,
yourself.
I'm good. I'm
Yes.
good. I'm good.
Yes, sir.
I'm a
Yes, sir.
Dutch citizen. I'm a Dutch citizen. I'm good.
Yes, Lester, big up yourself, my youth. Anyway, call Andrew and make Andrew know say Vita need to speak with him. Because I know say you know Andrew number. Andrew Owen is Prime Minister of Jamaica. Lester, call him and tell him say Vita want to talk to him. We want to talk about the weed. Good night.
Free up the weed. Free up the weed. All right, Vita, have a good night, yeah? Let's stop. Virgin,
Yeah,
have a good one.
it was good. It was good. It was good.
Yeah.
I was representing now.
Yes.
I was representing.
Power to the people. Is that right, man?
No, it's shower to the people. Shower to the people.
I don't know. The shower and power, but they rhyme. The shower power. Is it power came from the shower?
No.
Were people saying power first and then shower came in after?
People say power first.
Oh,
That's
they
how
said
Michael
power
Manley
first,
do this, man.
and then shower came in after as a way to counteract it, isn't it?
Yeah, but remember, say JLP was born out of PMP.
Okay. Cousins, yeah.
Yeah,
Listen, we talk, all right?
big up.
Big up. All right.
All right.
Cheers, man. Cheers. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you so much for joining tonight, and very interesting show. I gave my summing up earlier, and most definitely what we'll have to do is it doesn't make sense to have a show like this without having something coming out of it. So there's got to be some sort of document or some sort of thinking or a blog, in a sense, some write-up to capture the views, to capture what people are actually saying. I think that is very important. And I will definitely have to go through or get someone to go through all these comments that people has made. I think I still can capture it and to document it as well. The key question tonight, as we said, was how can you soar, right? How can you soar while cost of living is soar? How can you somehow have this level of bulletproof in your income? What do you do? Do you go to your boss, your employee, and say, listen, cost of living is going up, oil price is going up, I need more? Or should we, at the same time, learn to reduce our appetite? That is cutting down on certain things, cutting down on certain food, buying food and creating lunch instead of buying. I think we are coming to a point whereby the high street calf, they may finally be on their way out in a certain way. sandwiches bars might be going a bit out in a sort of way. We got to think about that. And those companies will have to think about that because after COVID, I would not be surprised. And as Michelle said earlier, there'll be other things that will be coming. Okay? So, ladies and gentlemen, that's my talk. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you, Catherine. Sorry you couldn't come in, Catherine. Thank you, Scotty, Champs, Noreen, those on, what should I say, Instagram, Facebook. Thank you so much for coming. Peace out. God bless you. And I'll see you next week, same time.